Hi and Assalamualaikum. In this experiment, we need to observe and determine how many heads and tails situation are possible for our group project. We must conduct an experiment in which a coin will be used as the subject, and we need to record the outcome of each attempt. The probability of each trial that we have recorded is then also determined using the formula that we have learned in class.
Objective of this experiment are to record the outcome of 30 trial of tossing a coin, calculate the probability of getting heads, calculate the probability of getting tails, calculate the difference between experimental and theoretical probability of throwing head, and calculate the difference between experimental and theoretical probability of throwing tails.
The task that was assigned to our group is tossing a coin. The objective of this experiment is to investigate and compare the experimental and theoretical probabilities of getting heads and tails when tossing a coin. Starting out, we will assign one partner to be the coin tosser, while the other teammates will be the observers. The coin tosser will toss the coin 30 times, one try at a time. The observers will carefully record the outcome of each toss as either heads or tails. The results of the coin toss will be recorded. Next, we will calculate the probability of getting heads or tails throughout the duration of the experiment using the 30 times outcomes. As a result, we will shall keep answering to all of the experiment's questions using the data we have gathered. And this is our result.
Probability means possibility. It is a branch of mathematics that deal with occurrence of a random event. The value is expressed from 0 to 1. Probability has been introduced in math to predict how likely events are to happen. The meaning of probability is basically the extent to which something is likely to happen. Probability is a measure of a likelihood of an event to occur. Many events cannot be predicted with a total certainty. We can predict only chance of an event to occur. How likely they are going to happen using it. Probability can range from 0 to 1, where 0 means the event is to be an impossible one, and 1 indicate a certain event. The probability of the event in a sample space adds up to 1. Now, let's discuss about the question given. For question A, as you can see, this is our result after we making our own experiment of tossing a coin. We got 13 times for heads and 17 times for tails after tossing for 30 times. For question B, find the experimental probability of getting heads. For number of event time happen is 13 and the total number of trial is 30. And the formula for experimental probability is number of time event happens divided by total number of trial, and the answer is 13 over 30. For question C, find the experimental probability of getting tails. For number of event time happens is 17 and the total number of trial is 30. And the formula for experimental probability is number of time event happens divided by total number of trial, and the answer is 17 over 30.
Question D. What is the theoretical probability of throwing heads? As we know, number of favorable outcomes is 1 and number of possible outcomes is 2. The formula of theoretical probability is number of favorable outcomes divided by number of possible outcomes. So, 1 over 2 or 0.5. Question E. What is the theoretical probability of throwing tails? As we know, the number of favorable outcomes is 1 and the number of possible outcomes is 2. The formula for theoretical probability is number of favorable outcomes divided by number of possible outcomes. So, the answer is 1 over 2 or 0.5.
Question F. What is the difference between experimental probability of throwing heads and the theoretical probability of throwing heads? After doing some calculation, we get 13 over 30 for the experimental probability of throwing heads, while the theoretical probability of throwing heads is 1 over 2. The difference between experimental and theoretical is 13 over 30 minus 1 over 2. And the answer is negative 1 over 15. After that, to find the percentage of the difference, we need to multiply with 100. So, it will be negative 1 over 15 multiplied with 100 and we get negative 20 over 3% or negative 6.667%. Question G. What is the difference between experimental probability of throwing heads and the theoretical probability of throwing tails? For this question, we get 17 over 30 for the experimental probability of throwing tails, while the theoretical probability of throwing tails is 1 over 2. The difference between experimental and theoretical is 17 over 30 minus 1 over 2, and the answer is 1 over 15. After that, to find the percentage of the difference, we need to multiply with 100. So, it will be 1 over 15 multiplied with 100 and we get 20 over 3% or 6.667%.
In conclusion, coin tossing is a simple but interesting random experiment that can provide insight into probability and randomness. It shows the basic concept of an event with two equally possible outcomes, which is heads or tails. Other than using it to make decisions or illustrate the concept of probability, we also can determine the difference between theoretical probability and experimental probability. This probability is very important because it can solve statistical problems.
Okay.